To always get the latest Game Tea, do not forget to follow us on social media. You can find us on Facebook at The Game Tea Podcast, and you can find us on Twitter at Game Tea Podcast X. We post memes, gaming news, retweet friends of the pod, and of course let you know when new episodes are available for your listening pleasure. Links are all available in the description of this episode, so check them out after the show, and thank you so much for listening to the Game Tea Podcast. All right, Czar, Peaches, you guys ready to talk about some Pokemon Direct today?
Yeah. I mean, I am. It just seems off.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean, man. Without, Zach here to talk Nintendo and Pokemon, it just doesn't feel right.
Nintendo.
What? What the hell?
What was that?
The hell was that?
Nintendo.
Oh my god!
Nintendo.
No! Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Game Tea Podcast. My name is JP.
I'm Zach.
I'm Peaches. And I'm Czar.
Zach, why did you know who you are, right? Why did that sound like a question?
Just worried, man. I took a long break. Now I'm back in here. I'm just like, what? Dude, oh my god. Guys, you guys want to hear what kind of morning it's been?
I do.
Obviously, of course, we're happy to hear from you again. Let's hear what you've done with your morning. You're going to bring up the poop, aren't you?
I was about to say, I heard you were pooping.
Yeah, it was a pretty bad poop. It was pretty bad. Had to shower afterwards. So that's it was a power shower. I tried to respect your time, but I was like, oof. Did not want to smell that for the next 2 hours, you know what I mean?
Fair.
So anyway, I couldn't find my mic, so I was panicking, checking all the places I could have put it. I looked to my right just now, because that's normally what I do when I'm on the podcast. I look to my right and I'm like, what? Oh, here's my mic, just already hooked up. Got everything connected, and that's just, yeah. So I'm not a morning person. I want to toss the mic now to JP.
You literally told me you couldn't find it. Are you telling me all you had to do was look slightly to your right? How little effort did you put into finding the microphone?
Actually, it was how much effort I was putting into not finding the microphone would be more accurate. Because I literally was searching all the dumb places I could have packed it away, because it's a Yeti mic. I mean, it's not tiny. It's not like a little,
No, they're big, dude. They're big microphones.
Did I accidentally bring it to the bathroom with me?
Right? It's not like...
Oh, the sounds. They're all amplified.
Ooh, you should sample those for me. I can put them in some episodes.
All right. I won't. I won't do that.
Yeah, that's not happening. All right. The reason why our good friend Zachary is here today is because we've got huge Nintendo news. It all started off with the amazing Direct that we had last week, and Zach couldn't get away without talking about one of his favorite things from the Direct. And
Yay.
We just had a Pokemon Direct that gave us, oh my god, absolutely incredible news, guys. So we couldn't get away with not having Zach here. Zach, are you excited to be back?
Yes.
Yeah, we're excited to have you back. Except Peaches, he's got the sniper on the roof like, you son of a bitch, I worked hard for this.
I yelled every week in the DMs.
There could be only one!
This can be only one. So there's not much else to talk about in the morning, boys. Let's, what do you say we just get into some of the Nintendo news by starting off with the latest Smash news that Zach cannot get away with not talking about.
Yeah, I know you guys already talked about this, so I'll be quick and to the point, if you will.
We did talk about this, but there's no way we could have hyped this up as well as you could have.
Can we just talk about how, 2 weeks after, I decided, I need a long hiatus, that you go have a Nintendo Direct, there's BlizzCon, there's a Smash Direct, and there's a Pokemon Direct.
That's a lot of Nintendo news.
And Zach's just like, God damn it.
I fell on the sword for you guys. You're welcome, Internet. So, yes, I'm an idiot. What's new? Anyway, so I don't know if you guys heard, but there's this little game that you maybe heard. It's kind of a niche title. It's called Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Have you guys heard about it?
Maybe in passing.
I mean, you literally won't let me not hear about it.
If anyone is friends with you, they have heard of Xenoblade Chronicles.
It's like anybody who's friends with me and hearing about my PC. Have I told you about my PC?
Yeah. So same thing. Did you guys know that they announced Mythra and Pyra for Smash? Oh my god, guys. Oh my god. And they're like and everyone was like, it couldn't happen. They're already not assist trophies. The stickers, they're just called stickers, right? Spirits. That's what they're called. It's pretty hype now. They use the new design because I don't know if you guys know this, but they are kind of waifu. They have a bunch of risque outfits, so they redesigned the outfits for the spirits, which should have been the dead giveaway. You know they're gonna do something more because you don't just go and redesign a character.
Sure.
Granted, it was just adding leggings and hiding some cleavage, but like, I mean,
No, that's an interesting point. I never thought of that.
Yeah, I swear to God, if I even see some boobs in my Smash game, I'm gonna lose it.
I am gonna need a safe space so damn quick.
yeah, I mean, can you imagine like some risque character whose like entire thing is about like climaxes being in the game? Like that'd be ridiculous.
Bayonetta.
Thank you.
Okay, I was about to say, I don't know where this one is going.
Yeah. So anyway, Mithra and Pyra, dope as fuck. Rex isn't even in it, which is totally fine because he has his Mii costume, guys. It's cool. I didn't want to play as Rex. I wanted the big, awesome Aegis herself. All right.
Well, yeah, but the way they totally just threw him out was just hilarious. Like, he didn't have a chance.
They really didn't.
I loved every second of it. they I don't know like how like they did the cinematography for that like thing. Like it was kind of like its own cutscene. Like, and that's what's cool about Xenoblade is like the art style like messes with the like a cinematics pretty well. Like the only reason you know it's a cinematic is because they like hide all the UI stuff. And so I don't know if like they went back in real quick and did that or what, but like it was pretty fire, guys. It was pretty fire. Like, did you guys know it was Smash like right away, or were you guys like?
I didn't even know what game it was when I first started seeing it.
I thought it was just gonna be an expansion for a Xenoblade.
I hate you so much.
I'm sorry.
I was so happy with any of this. I'm like, I can't lose. I'm so happy.
Either way, Zach wins.
And so anyway, you guys are going to talk about it more, so I'm not going to speculate too much. I just hope that she's like somewhat good. And with all the DLC characters, they've all been usually pretty busted. So I'm pretty fucking excited, guys. This is, thanks for letting me talk about it.
How do you feel about everyone just fucking railing on it because like, not another swords person in my Smash game?
Okay, yeah, especially after Sephiroth.
Perfect. 2 comments for that. 2 comments. You ready? Are you ready? 1. She literally is a sword, so different. Okay, that's 1. Okay.
Checkmate, liberals.
Yes. Checkmate, douchebags. And part 2. Sorry, you don't have to you can disagree with me. You're not a douchebag, but I'm just trying to, hyperbole right out, guys. Stick with me, all right? I looked this up because I was telling my other friends, and I was like, shit, they're probably gonna say this on the podcast too. Did you know that there are only 14 characters that use swords? So that's out of 74 possible fighters. So really, we need more sword fighters.
But do we, or do we need more Crash Bandicoots?
Or, everybody hear me out. Bug Snacks and Smash Bros.
Oh shit, you didn't say Waluigi. You've changed, man.
Ooh, I take it. I want Waluigi.
I want Waluigi too. Not because I'd actually play the game more, but just because for the meme.
For the meme.
Yeah, we need Waluigi, then we need Sora, and then we need Goku. And like, I literally like, if you would have told me this game was coming out like 10 years ago, I'd been like, you're a dirty liar, and I'd slap you and run away.
But when is Yu-Gi-Oh coming to Smash?
When he stops being a third-rate duelist with a fourth-rate deck.
Fair.
Yeah, he stacks his deck. You know it's confirmed, man. That's how Exodia always gets there.
Dude, Dark Magician and Smash, never gonna happen, but I would actually play that.
You can already do that. It's called Jump Force.
Isn't that game like Poopy McPoop-Poo?
It is. It's so bad.
Smash is the only good fighting game. That's my hot take.
Ooh, but Zach, I got one more question about the Smash trailer for you on this. How did you feel at the very end when they encountered Shulk?
Oh my god, I was giddy. I was like, am I gonna get more right now? But no, it was just like, it was like them calling each other out, which is good. I hope there's like a Xenoblade Chronicles 3 coming soon. That'd be pretty cool.
Now, what's funny is Peach has asked the exact same question I was going to ask, so we did talk about this on the podcast, Zach, but like, to us, it was hard to get as excited about it, whereas like, the three of us were literally commenting like, okay, imagine how Zach probably feels right now, though. That steered the conversation we know Zach is fucking hyped.
I'm not gonna lie, it was a rough day. Like, it was like a rough day at work. And like, I was like checking like Twitter and I saw that and I was like, what? And so I checked YouTube and I like didn't tear out completely, but you know what I mean? Like, I was feeling like that ecstatic. I was
choked
like, this
a
is
little bit, right?
Surreal.
Yeah.
Choked up a little bit. Like, I know it's like, kind of like just dramatic. It is dramatic, but I was just like, I don't care, man. Like, I love video games, man. It's nice when things work out every now and then.
Yeah, no, video games are fucking rad, dude.
That's why we're here.
I think every gamer knows that feeling that you were just talking about.
Just like, I like it when shit is just made for me. Sakurai, I don't care what all these haters say, man. I am pumped to play this new DLC. I literally was like, oh, you're having a fighter's pass? I bought it day one. Didn't even care. I'm like, I don't care who you put in. Like, there has not been a fighting game like this forever. Like, Street Fighter 5 like had a big controversy at the time. Like, this was about the time Ultimate would have gone in. They give you like 8 characters, and everything else was part of like a season pass.
Mm-hmm.
This is Street Fighter when like Street Fighter 2 had like 12 characters or something like that. And like, granted, yeah, it takes a lot more time to animate stuff and balance stuff, but like, you were getting 70 characters off the start. I'm like, I'm gonna buy every DLC pass they got. Like, I don't even care if it's just like a bunch of costumes of like Mario. I'm gonna be hyped for this because like, I don't know. I think Smash just deserves it. Like, it's one of those games that I'm okay with being the fat elephant for because I put so much time into it. You guys know what the fat elephant saying, right? Like, I don't sound stupid. Like the guy who like spends all his money on stuff that's like you don't really need it at all.
I don't know if that's an expression. I think you made that up.
Yeah, I think you just made that up.
You're making up expressions again.
Okay, well, what do you call a person like League of Legends who like spends like thousands of dollars? Besides Peaches.
Are you talking about whale? Are you talking about whales? Like, for businesses, it's called a whale, right? Where like it's like you're making a ton of money off of one person, and that's your whale.
Well, a whale is more like a really wealthy client that you can just stick and he bleeds money.
Yep.
Well, I don't bleed money. I bleed tears and a little bit of money, but yeah. So that's what I'm doing for him.
Zach, you know what? I don't even blame you one bit, because that feeling that you just described, that's exactly how I felt when Skyward Sword was getting that port for the Switch, even though I knew nobody was nearly as excited about that as I was. You know? Like, I get it. I really do.
And that was me with Stubbs the Zombie.
Oh, yeah. Stubbs the Zombie.
That was me with Mass Effect 3.
I'm sorry, was that Octopath Traveler?
You know what? I do have to leave. Zach is here. I'm out.
No, please come back.
It's good to be back.
Didn't we have Pokemon news to talk about?
Yes, that is what we are jumping into next, because originally this was supposed to be just talking about the Pokemon Direct. We couldn't get away with Zach not being here and not talking about Mythra and Pyra. So it's time to get into this amazing Pokemon Direct that we just got a couple days ago. So we're going to go down the list of what was announced. We're going to talk about the montage, the amazing montage at front. But first of all, how did you guys feel knowing that, you know, with these directs, we've kind of been getting them like, hey, there's a direct coming up. When? Right now. Oh, okay. Let's go.
And you see all these games in the Direct? When are they coming out? Right now.
What? Right now. Right meow.
Yeah, I remember I texted you guys and I was like, did you guys know there's a Pokemon thing happening tomorrow? I was like, what? No?
Like, what? Yeah, what? And I was super skeptical, right? I was like, oh, it's probably just gonna be some Pokemon Go bullshit. Which, if you're super into Pokemon Go still, that's fantastic. But, you know, I'm just not as big of a fan of Pokemon Go anymore. I want legit Pokemon news, and we got it, boys.
I was gonna say, after the last like 2 years, me hyping up this like these events, like, yeah, I'm with you on that one. I was like, let's just not get our hopes up. Let's just not even.
Yeah, I'm just like, it's weird. I'm not usually the pessimist in that situation, but I'm like, guys,
And you know, we really should have seen this coming, considering Nintendo has been all about their anniversaries as of late. Like with the Mario, the hype of a Zelda, and this is the 25th year of Pokemon, so naturally.
Yeah, so what's your guys' experience with Pokemon before we get started with this whole direct thing? Because 25 years, should we go down memory lane? Do we have time for that?
That's exactly what the montage was for, man. I mean, we could at least start by saying when we got into Pokemon, because we're pretty avid Pokemon players. I loved it when Peaches is like, oh, well, I'm not that into Pokemon. I mean, I've played every game, but I'm not that into Pokemon.
You know, I feel like everybody has played, like, some Pokemons, right? But, like, when I say I'm not that into Pokemon, even though I've played, like, every Pokemon game, it just means, like, I think I rarely finish these things. But I always play them because I love seeing the new Pokemon. I love going out there and catching them.
I heard a lot of love in that statement.
No, I just say we go down the line here, and, you know, if Zach wants, let's talk Pokemon, we're going into the full experience, I say why not? So honestly, I got into the Pokemon game a little late, you know? My first Pokemon game was 3rd generation with Pokemon Ruby on the Game Boy Advance, and I absolutely loved it. But, you know, for most other people, their Pokemon journey began a lot sooner than that, and I've played every game since then. Obviously, from the great debate with Zach and Czar, we know that I am just a Gen 4 fanboy, which is part of the reason why this Pokemon Direct got me so ecstatic. We'll talk about that later, but that's where it began for me.
And so I think it was an early episode of the podcast. Mine was Pokemon Red. I was in the back of like a Target parking lot, and my sister got Blue, and I was annoying to her and made her trade me all her cool Pokemon. I think I stole her Mewtwo. It was great.
Yeah, that sounds like something you would do to your sister.
Lols.
All right, well, I guess I can go next. I got started in Pokemon Yellow, and I just remember, that's the game where Pikachu was following you around, and I would always try to get Pikachu stuck and get as far away from him as possible before he just sprinted and caught up to you. That was my favorite part of the game.
You're not getting rid of me, you son of a bitch.
Was that a thing? I guess I never tried it.
Yeah.
How far did you get?
Yeah, you can't really make it a full screen length away before it catches up, or just zips super fast all of a sudden and catches up to you.
Yeah, there were some weird things you could do with that Pikachu. I lost mine in the daycare center for years, and then it accumulated so much debt that I could never make enough money in the game physically to reclaim my Pikachu.
I don't even know you could put Pikachu in the daycare.
Apparently you can.
Damn it, Czar.
Now he's truly Ash's Pikachu. Overpowered as shit.
That's what happens when they can't afford, they send him to Professor Oak, huh?
Basically.
I don't know how to tell you. Yeah, they definitely put that Pikachu down.
Oh no.
Hey, it's okay. In Pokemon Go, they grind them up into candy.
Oh, God. I forgot about that. Oh,
yeah,
God.
That's a thing. Where do you think the candy comes from?
So, my first experience with Pokemon, and honestly, I don't think I can actually remember a time when Pokemon has not been a part of my life, because I remember playing Pokemon Blue in preschool, and when I was 4 years old, I got Pokemon Stadium on an N64. It was an N64 and Pokemon Stadium as a Christmas gift because my babysitter had it and I loved it. And so yeah, those two games, some of my earliest and first memories. I've always had Pokemon in my life.
Zach, are you tearing up yet?
Yeah, I'm excited.
I love Pokemon so fucking much, you guys.
So JP, I feel like you get the most cinematic voice out of all of us. Hope no one feels threatened by that. So JP, what was the first 5 minutes and 25 seconds like?
What were the first 5 minutes and 20 seconds like? You want to talk about a time where you were fucking tearing up. They started off this Pokemon Direct. It was only 20 minutes long. And when I saw that, I was like, okay, there's no way that can be this great. And 5 of it was dedicated to this montage, right? And what they did in this montage at the beginning was they just went through the years, man.
Years, bro. We're old, man.
We're getting old, boys. I mean, hell, Pokemon is literally about as old as we are. Except for Czar, because he's old.
Yeah, I'm a year older than Pokemon.
So what they did in this montage was they went through not only the games themselves, every game that's ever been released, along with the physical copies and showing the year, but the consoles themselves that you would play these suckers on. They showed the OG Game Boy and the graphics. They showed, the color, the Pocket. They went through the Advance, the Game Boy SP, all the way up to the Nintendo DS, where they went through all the iterations of that with the 3DS and every game along the way in this beautiful 5-minute montage to Pokemon. And it made me feel old, but it also made me feel just nostalgic. And I honestly was just like, dude, I have spent so much of my fucking time with Pokemon. It's just, you don't think about how integral to your gaming experience it is, but it's just such an important part of who I am as a gamer. So that's kind of how I felt about it. What about you three?
Did anybody get a count on how many times they said trading cards?
4. It was 4 times.
No.
Yeah.
It was 7.
I have no idea.
I think they're trying to sell more cards.
It was really cool. There was a lot of things that I forgot about Pokemon, like that little pocket Pokeball with a Tamagotchi Pikachu or something. I had one of those.
Did you?
Yeah, I completely forgot about it for years until seeing that. So this whole montage was just nostalgic bliss.
This is good quality content. I did read Reddit. People were like, I'm kind of getting sick of these because they do these montages pretty often. But I don't know if that's just because I'm old and the last time I remember was the Sun and Moon one. And I guess wasn't Sun and Moon 5 years ago? So it really isn't that often. So I feel like every 5 years is a pretty good pace. So I don't get sick of those, but apparently there's a sentiment of people being like, they do this too much. And I'm like, I mean, they sell us a re-release of the same game we bought like 20 years ago, like every 2 years. So
For $60.
not enough people are sick of it, man.
Yeah, but these people are never easy to please, you know? It's like, we've been begging for the remakes and the types of games that we got in this direct, and at the end of it, everybody was still fucking bitching. You know how it goes with Pokemon fans. They're just never happy.
It is kind of ridiculous. I'm like, they gave us everything we wanted in a cup of tea, and then they're still sitting here like,
Well, the art style wasn't perfect, and it looks like they didn't put in enough detail to the changes.
and then if they would have put in if they would have done all the changes,
Oh, they changed it too much. My baby, it's all different. Ugh.
If I ever thought about a troll having a voice, that would be the voice.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
That was a good internet troll.
thank you, it comes natural to me.
And Peaches, finally, what about you? I mean, like, you're not usually a big sucker for nostalgia anyway, so, like, what'd you think?
Yeah, I hate to be with the internet trolls here. I was just bored. I was like, all right, come on, show me the stuff. I don't care about this nostalgia thing. I want to see the things.
JP, his voice isn't like mine. Make him change his voice.
What was the troll voice? And it wasn't shiny enough, and the graphics were too different, and I don't know.
Say goodbye
That was
to your
perfect. Good stuff.
That's good stuff.
Yeah, so I mean, like, in all reality, like, I'm sure it was great for some people, but I just wanted to see the Pokemon things. I didn't want to.
You're just like, all right, get on with it. And
Yeah.
I'll admit that 5 minutes was a little gratuitous, but still, I enjoyed every second of it.
And you know what? I would never take that from you. It just wasn't for me.
And that is the difference between Peaches and an internet troll.
Well, so speaking of 5 minutes, what say we dive into the actual Pokemon news too?
I think that's a great idea, Czar. So let's start off with the boring stuff. Now, as anticipated, there was some Pokemon Go news that I'm sure a couple of you guys actually participated. Czar, I know you in particular kind of knew more about this because it just happened yesterday. So what was it that they gave us Pokemon Go-wise in this direct?
Not much. We got to raid the Kanto legendary birds, Zapdos, Articuno Moltres, and Mewtwo. The shinies were available for all three, but, you know, we already got that in the Kanto event last week, and they're kind of cycling these legendary birds and Mewtwo in pretty frequently, so nothing too special.
Did you do the concert with Hootie and the Blowfish with Post Malone?
Oh my god, we have to talk about that. Please, someone explain the connection to Hootie and the Blowfish and Post Malone to Pokemon. I don't get it.
How do you not see it? It's pretty obvious, man.
Isn't it Hootie Hoot or Hoot Hoot and Blowfish? Isn't that our Quillfish?
Hootie hoo!
Oh, that's actually, if that's what they did, that's actually really funny, but it was like a tweet that was like, in celebration of Pokemon's 25th anniversary, like, Post Malone is covering a song by Hootie and the Blowfish, and I saw a tweet that was like, will somebody explain to me how that makes any sense? What's the connection here?
I guarantee Post Malone just like, well, Pokemon Day's coming up, like smoking a little bit, like, well, Hootie and the Blowfish is kind of like Hoot Hoot and Blowfish.
You know what?
I should reach out to Pokemon Company. We got this. They're like, all right.
That's some Post
Why
Malone
not?
shit right there. That is exactly what Post Malone would do.
Yeah, Post Malone, he's a cool dude. And honestly, I listened to the cover of that song, and it's good. It's a good cover.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it may not make sense, but it's great.
Anyways, continuing on the Pokemon Go stuff.
Actually, Czar pretty much summed it up. There wasn't much, and even like hardcore Pokemon Go fans were just kind of like, meh, I've got all this shit already, nothing special.
Pokemon Go has had its spotlight way too long. Like, this was actual Pokemon stuff that they wanted to talk about.
Although, Czar, I did hear that you made your wife a little upset with something. What'd you do?
Oh, I don't even know if I want to talk about it.
Do you want to be quiet, or are you afraid she's going to come in there and bash you over the head with a frying pan?
No, I'm afraid she's going to listen to the episode.
Czar got a shiny and she didn't.
Yeah, we did. We both bought tickets for the Kanto event, and we were doing raids all day. We were doing all the events, and we did like, I think 3 or 4 Mewtwo raids together. And finally, for the very last Mewtwo raid, we did it. She didn't get a shiny, but I did, and now she's mad at me.
You know what? Before she listens to this episode, I'll text her and I'll be like, you know, shiny Pokemon are great, but the real treasure is the friends we made along the way. and that should calm her down, right?
And you know what? I'm just going to get ahead of it. Czar's wife, I'm 100% with you. Never met you or talked to you before in my life, but you're right on this one. Czar's wrong.
Yeah. I mean, I could trade it for her Darkrai.
Yeah, you should just give it to her for free, honestly. Just off the audacity, off of your own audacity. How
What,
dare
like
you?
take a Weedle for it or something?
Yeah.
A Weedle! Again with the Weedles!
At most, you take a Weedle.
That's like the least Pokemon ever.
Alright, so along with Pokemon Go, we got a little bit of news in Pokemon Cafe Mix. They're rewarding extra acorns. I don't even know what the fuck that means.
Is that money?
Is that the currency of the game? Zach, do you know anything about this?
No. But I know that God, what's the Gen 2 Pokemon? Sentret is excited about this news.
Sentret? Really? Okay. I was just wondering what Sentret was up to.
The Bidoof of Gen 2.
I didn't know we had a Sentret guy in here.
We got a Sentret dude. Alright, and the final piece of man news is Leon and Charizard are appearing in Pokemon Master EX as like a bonus. I don't even really fully know. Are they like a boss battle? Is it like somebody you actually battle against? I'm just like, eh. Unless one of you guys are excited about it. No? Nobody? Okay, good.
Alright, can we just mention it and get on?
Yep, time to get on. Because it's time to talk about the three big things.
Oh, you should mention that Sword and Shield had Pikachu Gigantamax raids, but that's just a brief mention.
Oh, was that part of the direct? I didn't even know that was something that they...
And if 1 million people knock it out, we get 100 Dynite Ore and 100 Armorite Ore. So if you guys could go ahead and do that for me, that would be great.
Yeah, I should jump on that.
You say 1 million?
So Peaches, that's what I thought at first too, but apparently they finished the one where they did this for Zekrom. Is Zekrom the mythical one? No, that's the...
Yeah, from Gen 5.
No, what's the new Zero Aura, that one. Okay, they're pretty close. They're both electric, so that wasn't terrible. Anyway, so with Zero Aura, like, apparently if 1 million people knocked him out in the raids, you would get like a shiny one. And apparently like the Pokemon community knocked out in like 6 hours.
That's actually insane. I honestly, like, I guess my whole, like, perception of Pokemon Sword and Shield is just based off of, like, the internet's reception, like, the wide internet's not, like, the specific Pokemon internet reception to Pokemon Sword and Shield, which, like, most of them hated it, so I don't know how many people are still playing Pokemon Sword Shield.
Oh shit, if you play online, there are just countless people that run by you. Because, like, you can see where other people are in the map relative to your position. You can't really interact with them.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's just constantly filled. You can't walk 2 steps without running into somebody.
Pokemon Sword and Shield, even with all the drama that we had, I think we documented pretty good. Pokemon Sword and Shield has sold over 20 million units, which is almost tied with Gold and Silver, which is obviously a little bit behind still Red, Green, and Blue.
Yeah, that's nuts.
So yeah, even though it got a bunch of shit, rightfully so, they did some pretty dumb things with it, but like, Pokemon has always been like a yearly release thing. Like, they're always trying to release a new game every year. This game still sold like hot candy.
And I gotta say, Sword and Shield was like the first time I've liked the new legendary Pokemon in a while.
Oh yeah, Zacian. Which one did you get? I forgot.
I believe I got Shield.
So, Pokemon knew that we were going to get kind of a little fed up with these things because they had the montage and they announced these pieces of news. Each one of them got like a minute apiece because they knew that they had 3 huge things that they were about to drop that was going to just like be their mic drop moment. The first of which is we got gameplay and new footage of Pokemon Snap.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes, baby. Czar, you first. What did you think about what we got for Pokemon Snap this time around?
Absolutely bootyful, as in full of the booty.
Wait, are there butts in Pokemon Snap? I might be actually interested in it.
I saw Love Disc. That's kind of like a butt.
Venusaur is thick.
Oof. How many C's?
With 8 C's.
Dude, I don't even know how Venusaur is walking around with that fat dumpy, dude.
Well, apparently he's cannonballing.
All right, Czar, you first. What'd you think of this trailer?
It brought back everything I loved about the original on the N64. I mean, everything from being the classic rail shooter. You even get like the apples, which are called fluff fruit, apparently, and Pokeflutes. And they introduced new concepts to it, along with the massive roster of Pokemon. Like, there was every Pokemon from Gen 1 all the way up to Sun and Moon. Like, there was Grookey, I think is the grass type starter for Sun and Moon.
Grookey, baby.
But yeah, along with these new features, they had like a new throwable, which is a luminous ball, which I think was made of pure radiation. So you're just, irradiating the environment.
You get some cancer. You get some cancer.
And you get some cancer.
Have that nice, healthy Nuka-Cola glow.
I like the idea of the illumination ball because it almost implies that however many maps they decide to put in, all of them are almost going to have like a night mode or something like that, where like you can go through the same track at night and there's going to be different Pokemon and different things you can do.
Yeah, there definitely looked like there was a day and night cycle, because I noticed that they would go through a little bit like some of the same places, and sometimes it'd be during the day or like mid-afternoon or like it'd be raining.
Oh, that is so unbelievably cool.
I don't know if the player will be able to tweak that or if it's like level specific.
Pokemon Snap is old when you're excited about day and night.
Right?
Yeah, no kidding, right?
I thought when did the last one come out?
1997, 99. JP, we just played this recently.
It was definitely before Gen 2, but it was like at the tail end of Gen 1. So if like Crystal came out around 99, right?
Yeah.
Like Gold, Silver, and Crystal, then that must have been like 98, man. 98, I'm guessing, is the last Pokemon Snap. 1998.
Yeah. Well, the only Pokemon Snap. Well, I guess there was a DS version. Anywho.
There was?
There was?
Hey, I want to get on this. There was?
Stars dropping shit we don't know about right now. Zara, tell me about this.
I knew you were in the Illuminati.
The Pokemon Art Academy? That was for the 3DS, dude.
I loved Pokemon Art Academy.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. But like, this game really looks like it's building an intricacy from the ground up of what the original game was, because it looks like every Pokemon has a specific pose that they can do that you have to find. I mean, you could light up every Pokemon. There's a hell of a lot of ways to play this and a huge roster of Pokemon to find. I'm getting this 120%.
Zach, what about you? What stuck out to you about this trailer? Because I didn't think this was going to be your kind of game, but you've been talking it up almost as much as we have.
Have I?
Have I?
Has he?
A little bit. We talked about it the other night about Pokemon Snap. You said you were excited.
I think it looks absolutely gorgeous, and I think it's a fine game. It's just not my cup of tea.
It's definitely a game to give to Krista and be like, I'm going to watch you play this.
She is not excited for it either. I was kind of surprised. I tried to run it by her, and she's like, they can't battle or I can't catch them. No thanks. I was like, what?
Does she even give a shit about battling? That, like, if all she does is Pokemon Go, that's like, I didn't know she even cared about battling.
She's Krista. She's unique.
Moving on.
This is just kind of a random thought, but, since they're kind of bringing back the nostalgia of Nintendo, or for, not Nintendo specifically, but for Pokemon, does anyone remember Pokemon Channel? Like, for the GameCube?
Yeah.
Do you think they're ever going to bring that back? I remember playing that a good amount when I was a kid.
Wasn't just a bunch of TV shows?
I think so, and like some digital pet games.
And like some mini games? Yeah. I hope not. Unless they make the mini games actually like pretty good.
I feel like I liked that game when I was a kid, but maybe I wouldn't like it if I came back to it now.
I think the mini games were more like Pokemon Stadium mini games. Fun for like 2
those
minutes.
were fucking fire. What? Oh my god, we have to go play those. See, I like this. Like, people crap on Pokemon, but like we all have different opinions on what's come out before. You know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah, like we all have an underlying like love for Pokemon, but like what generation's best, what we do and don't like to do, that's where it branches off.
That's why people are never happy right now. I think it's because it's just too big.
I'm sorry I sidetracked this so much, but I just thought that came to my head.
Okay, so what do you guys think of the photo editing function of this game? I mean, I don't think I'm gonna waste my time on it, but I really think it's cool how they're turning a game into a social media platform. Like, this is Pokegram.
I'm in love with the gram.
The Pokegram.
What's funny is it was like 2 weeks ago where we were shitting on this type of gameplay, right? Where like you have like a photo mode in games. But this is a game that's literally strictly dedicated to like photos.
It is photo mode.
And that's
the game.
where I think we can, it's photo mode the game. And that's why I think we can give it the exception here, right? So I think photo editing it's probably not going to be for me, but I think there's a lot of, especially the younger crowd, that can have a lot of fun with it.
The social media aspect is cool.
And plus, it looks like you can actually get extra points for, like, changing some of the photos up. So, you know, if you're trying to get more points on pictures, like, for the perfect pose, this might add a new dynamic where you're also, like, putting in certain things to make it worth more points. Because, you know, in the OG Pokemon Snap, as you and I know, Czar, like, if you get the perfect picture, there's just nowhere else to go.
Yeah, it's true. You could not beat that Pikachu.
And let me get a sick IG filter on that fat Venusaur dumpy dude.
Please stop saying dumpy.
No, please keep saying dumpy. I live for this chaos.
Dummy thick.
And so I'm excited for it, but like I just wish it wasn't $60. Like this is a $30 game, but
Sure,
it has
yeah.
the Pokemon tax attached
That's
to
true.
it.
It should be there.
It's beautiful and it's gorgeous, and I'm sure it's got some cool things behind it. But I don't know, like any other game company, like trying to sell this to you, like you'd pay $30 for it.
Oh, you're 100% right about that, but it's Nintendo and it's Pokemon, so...
It's like the double whammy of centers, man.
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
We have you by the childhood.
Oh,
You're damn right.
They so do.
All right, so overall consensus on Pokemon Snap is pretty positive. We're really excited. Obviously, we can't tell you too much about the trailer. You're gonna have to go you're gonna have to go see it for yourself if you want the full beauty. But next, we got something that I've literally been hyping up since this podcast's inception. We got Gen 4 Pokemon remakes, boys. What do you think of that? Woo!
how do you like damn apples?
JP for the win. Everything's coming up, Millhouse.
Okay, so I gotta ask, are you getting Diamond or are you getting Pearl, JP?
I have to choose?
No, your wallet can pick for you.
Yeah. When Zach and I were kids, that's how we decided, right? Zach is like, you got Diamond and I got Pearl.
Yeah.
So we could switch it up if you want. I could do Diamond and you could do Pearl, or I could get Pearl again and you could get Diamond. By the way,
I'm loading up Best Buy as we talk. Hold on.
Not sponsored by Best Buy.
though we are trying to be.
We're trying to be sponsored by...
Stop being a corporate shill, you bastards.
We're trying to be sponsored by anybody, dude. I'll take
Yeah,
whatever.
somebody, please. Like Joe's Plumbing Company. Where are you at?
Dyson fans, I'll hype you up.
All right,
Now we're
JP,
just saying brands.
I bought your copy and I bought my copy.
What?
Happy birthday.
Wait, you just...
Wait, he can just do that?
Did you just buy me a game on air?
Yeah.
Zach, you didn't have to do that.
Oh, bitch, you owe me so much.
You owe me a lot of money. Oh.
Oh, switch to shipping. Hell yeah.
So which one are you taking? We'll decide right now. Do you want Diamond or do you want Pearl?
I was thinking exactly like you were. I'll get Pearl, you get Diamond.
All right, so you're taking Shining Pearl and I'm getting Brilliant Diamond. Zach, I love you.
And I love you too, Zach.
Dude, I'm hyped, dude. Because like you said, like it's been something we're talking about for like forever. I'm still waiting for like Torrent to go on sale so I can buy Czar and Peaches that.
All right, so we're going to go down the line again. Before we do, Peaches, did you have something you wanted to say?
I just wanted to say, like, I remember Diamond and Pearl because, like, wait, that came out for the DS, right?
Yeah, 2006.
Yeah, and like my uncle got me like this DS cartridge that had like 50 some games on it and like built-in cheats for the games because that was back when cheat codes were really cool to use and like pretty fun. And Diamond and Pearl were on there.
They still are fun, man. They still are fun.
I think cheat codes are kind of lame now, or like, you know, you have to buy something in game to get a cheat code. But anyways, that's beside the point. But like, I remember my uncle got me Diamond and Pearl, and like it was on that like cartridge with like 50 other games, and it was seriously the most fun I had playing Pokemon in a very long time. So shout out my uncle because that was like the best
Shout
gift
out
I've
to
gotten in
Peach's
a long
uncle.
time.
Yeah, dude, don't name drop him. The ninjas will get him, man. Don't name drop him.
Yeah, can't name drop, but Peach's uncle.
This makes me sad, because there were only 2 generations of Pokemon that I did not play, and it was 4 and 5. So I never picked up these games.
So, Zar,
You're
you're
gonna
going to
love
get your
this,
chance.
man.
Yeah, I was going to say, Zach's right. You're going to get your chance right now, Zar. So, we'll start with you, in fact. You saw the trailer, and what's cool is they kind of did a side-by-side of, like, how it looked when it came back in 2006 versus the style that they're using now. So, what were your first impressions upon seeing the announcement for the Gen 4 remakes?
Honestly, I love that top-down Pokemon style. I always have. When I see a game like that, I know I'm going to waste about 100 hours in the near future. And so, yeah, I'm gonna absolutely get these. I don't know which one I'm going to get. A lot of people hate the art style. I just see it as Pokemon. It's still your top-down. That's all it is.
People are so annoying, and I mean that in like a respectful. I don't mean that in a respectful way. People are so annoying.
You're the most respectful kind of annoying they can be.
You get the same 3D battles like from Sword and Shield, and so that's awesome. I love everything about this, and I cannot wait to play it for the first time ever, and I can't believe I never played it before.
Wouldn't it be cool if they did like a like Halo Master Chief Collection kind of thing, where like you can go back and forth between old and new graphics?
They did.
Like
the original one.
Like, so we know it's because of Halo. We know that's possible. So I mean, it'd be more work, but if you want to like please everybody, that'd be the way to do it. I figure
that would be a cool function, especially in a Pokemon game, because I feel like with how low res Pokemon games graphics used to be, it'd be such an easy port.
You need the emulator, which we know they have.
Yeah, but Nintendo hates emulators.
As a Gen 4 fanboys are, what I can tell you is that they did a very good job of staying true to the original. Zach's mentioned this kind of art style that they're using before called like chibi or something, where you've got characters with big heads and like little smaller bodies, but from the top down view, it's Pokemon. You're 100% right. The fan base was like, we want remakes that look just enough like the old ones but are different enough. And Pokemon's like, okay, here is literally exactly what you asked for. And then Pokemon fans went, meh! And threw it off the table.
It's like that scene from Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Meh, 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 meh.
God, Peaches. Oh, I love you.
I'm here for you, baby.
It's a lot of love in this episode.
It's just so ridiculous how you can't make these people happy no matter what, man. I mean, what more do you want?
Okay, I'm in like the mindset right now, guys, and I want your opinion on this before I go and like talk about it some more. But like, we need to like just chill out these like, cause like in the grand scheme of things, I really feel like this is just a few people that just want to shit on things. Like they just want to keep bringing it up and bringing it up and bringing it up. Like every week, I feel like it's the same thing. Pokemon is like super awful. They don't come up with anything new, and it's like, well, yeah, like they really don't come up with anything new. They come up with something new. Oh, it doesn't look good enough. Oh, this is just Breath of the Wild. It's like, this is what a lot of people were asking for.
Yeah.
What do you mean they don't come up with anything new? They have 900 Pokemon.
But one's a trash can. Czar?
One is literally a pile of trash. I will say that.
And so my thing is like, I think we should like start making like more specific like things like on Reddit. Like you have to like, here's like how you feel if you don't like a certain game, talk about it right here. If you do like a certain game, talk about it right here. Like that way there's less of this like same people reposting over and over again. That way you can get rid of the same trash just being like echoed again. Because like, how many people need to say, oh, we don't like Chibi, or hey, we do like Chibi?
I know. I feel like separating them into like and hate just creates echo chambers where people won't hear a separate opinion. But then again,
which is what
they're already doing that
themselves.
They're already doing it themselves. But for the people that like do have an open mind and they're like starting out one way, but they could be swayed to see the other way, that would be bad for those people because all they would see is bad, or all they would see is good.
And plus, discourse is fun. It's fun to disagree and come up with different opinions, but it's when people are bitching and whining and just
threatening to kill people over making a video game.
Exactly.
Why is death threats the norm now?
I've never heard about death threats for Pokemon. I've heard about it for pretty much everything else, though.
I'm sure they're there.
I think we covered it once. I'm trying to remember.
But we're talking about Nintendo with Japanese people, It's not like American studios where it's like, we're gonna kill you, and they're like, no, please don't. You send a letter to one of these Japanese studios like, we're gonna kill you, we don't like how this Pokemon looks. You're gonna get a letter back like, come get me, bitch. Written in Japanese with a translator sent to your house, and then they slap you.
And then Nintendo ninjas hanging from your attic.
Exactly. It's like, okay, fine.
Ready to pounce. What are we talking about again?
Are we still doing Diamond and Pearl remakes? I think so.
Technically, but...
So, the art style is like our only complaint. I'm freaking excited. I'm not excited for the HMs. I really, 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 really hope...
Oh, going back to HMs is going to be hard. Yep, you're right.
I really hope they do the Let's Go system, or they just completely cut it out, because I like having team diversity as much as I love my overlord, Bidoof. I
Overlord
really
Badoo.
don't want to have 2 or 3 Badoosts on my team just so I can get through Mount Coronet, because that was a hassle and then some.
HM dumpster.
Oh, are we talking about dumpies again, dude?
No,
Dumpies.
dumpies.
JP, look what you did!
I'm sorry.
There's a lot of love going around this episode, like Zara said earlier, and there's even more love for fat dumpies, dude.
All right. So, I mean, other than that, though, it's a remake. So, we're getting it. It's going to look beautiful. It's going to be updated, but it is going to be Pokemon Pearl and Diamond. That didn't sound right. Pokemon Diamond and Pearl. Geez, just mixing it up doesn't sound right.
Yeah, it sounds very off.
But they're remake, so, it's going to be... It is for the nostalgia trip, which if that's what we got in this direct all alone, I'd have a problem with that. But we've been asking for Gen 4 remakes for quite a while now. We're finally getting it. And of course, the Pokemon Direct ended with one of the coolest Pokemon announcements I've ever seen in my life. Zach, since you're our guest today, tell us about Pokemon Legends Arceus.
Yeah, can we just like what? First off, when I read this, because again I was working when this thing, because for some reason I guess they're in Japan, so I'll give them benefit of the doubt here. They have to deal with all those time zones. But yeah, I was working when this came out, and I was like checking Twitter a little bit, like on my break, and I saw that they said this game was coming out. Like, this isn't real. Like, I'm getting fucking trolled right now. Like, there's no way they're trying like.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, okay, so what I'm getting with this is I didn't believe the information when I saw it. Like, I was super hyped, which is kind of why I think we spent so much of this episode being like, how are people complaining right now? Because this is so mind-blowing. So just imagine Breath of the Wild and Pokemon Sword and Shield had a baby. And here we are.
Yes.
Those are all the comparisons I've been seeing online.
And so I'm super duper excited. We know really next to nothing other than like that's literally what we know so far. Like they tried to show it's very open world. You can move the camera. There was a thing of the trainer doing like a barrel roll towards a Pokemon. Kind of have me interested because they made sure to make sure we know that it's an action role-playing game. So I'm imagining things like Xenoblade. I'm imagining things like I think Monster Hunter is really where I think they're maybe sending this.
Huh.
It's so unbelievably different, right? Like, this is the Pokemon game that we've been asking for since Gen 4. Like, when are you guys gonna mix up the fucking formula a little bit? This is the answer to like a decade and a half of criticism. So Zar, tell us a little bit more about the gameplay then. Like, what did you see in the trailer that got you excited and that leads you to believe this is going to be different from other Pokemon games?
A lot of confusion, honestly, because it really seemed like battling was a subroutine. Like, you can battle if you want, but ultimately you're just going to be running around in the wild, doing awesome barrel rolls, hiding in tall grass, and just catching Pokemon by surprise.
And did you guys see the battle? Like the battles looked similar, but there was definitely like I think they did that on purpose. I think there's going to be some differences.
Yeah, It really does not look like it's emphasized on battling. But how about that shiny Rhyhorn?
There's a shiny Rhyhorn?
Was it shiny, or was that just the way the sun hit it?
It could have been. I was with you. I thought it was a shiny at first.
Okay, well, at least Peaches. Peaches, what do you think?
I pretty much echo a lot of your guys' sentiments. I like that they're taking this somewhere new, and I really like, just how different they're going with it. But if I can't jump, like just jump up and down, I don't know, I'm going to have to take points off.
That is a Peaches thing.
Let me introduce you to The Legend of Zelda, where jumping is a mechanic that was only introduced very recently, my friend.
And only as a dodge feature.
I have to be able to jump vertically. Like, otherwise, like, it just takes away from the whole game experience for me. So, like, when I say that Mass Effect is a really good game, because it doesn't bother me that you can't just jump up and down until you reach Andromeda.
Shit, man, I need to play that game now.
But anyways, Pokemon. I think this game looks really cool. I like how they're taking it, and maybe once they kind of make another game similar to what Temtem is on Steam, which is like Pokemon-esque MMO. If they don't do that anytime soon, I'd be kind of disappointed, since they're kind of branching out with this. So I hope this means that they're going to be exploring different areas of Pokemon that they can do in the future.
I really think it is. It's like this is so different from any Pokemon game that we've ever seen. Like I said, I think this is what we've been asking for. Something that's so fresh and new. It's open world. I'm excited to see how many Pokemon they put in there. I think it's going to be so much fun. Did you guys see the design of the Pokeballs? Because this
I
is
was
like...
just gonna say, do you think we're gonna get the backstory or like the, I guess, what Peaches would call a codex entry on how Pokeballs came to be?
We see these weird steampunk-ass looking Pokeballs, and I'm just like, oh, I'm all about that. That's cool. Made of like wood and metal.
I like the flip. Like it's got that, I don't even know what to call it, but it's like a lock that you pop over the top and then you pop it open to open the ball. I like that better than pushing a button and the ball grows like 3 times its size.
Yeah, that just makes more sense.
Although, I mean, Pokeballs in general don't make sense.
In a world full of magical creatures, logic really it matters to me.
It matters by vaporizing them and storing their data into a ball that you put on your belt.
Didn't Professor Oak invent the Pokeball?
According to Professor Oak, he spent his entire life searching for these Pokemon and then hands you an empty Pokedex. So, I mean, like, how much of what this guy says is true?
That's actually a good point.
That's Pokemon canon right there. Professor Oak is not to be trusted.
I'm just saying, that guy, Professor Oak is kind of shady.
True.
I mean, in the first Pokemon games, he doesn't even remember the name of his grandson, so...
What is my grandson's name?
Tell me my grandson's name.
Oh, that's right, it's Fart. Oh my god. Guys, I mean, like, even if you're not a Pokemon fan, this is another one of those things where I felt like there was a lot to be excited about, no matter where you are. Because you've got the nostalgia coming in, obviously, with the remakes. You've got a brand new Pokemon experience for those that might be a little sick of, like, the already said, already done. And if you're looking for something that where, like, you love the world of Pokemon, but you're not really into the battling, you've got Pokemon Snap. There's Pokemon Go news. This was just a Pokemon fan's absolute dream right here. So before we kind of wrap this up, is there anything else you wanted to point out that we didn't really get to today?
You know, it's the theme of the episode, is just fat dumpies, right?
I don't remember us agreeing on that.
I just like to close out the episode. I just like to point out fat dumpies again.
Can I share a quick Pokemon story that happened today?
Of course you can.
We got a dog, you know, and the dog wakes us up in the morning, and after taking care of that, I came back to bed, and my wife and I were just laying in bed, kind of doodling on our phones. And I don't know why, but I just started humming the Poke Rap from the anime in the 90s. And she's like, what are you humming? I'm like, oh, let me show you. So we sat and we watched the full version of the Poke Rap, all 151 Pokemon, and it was glorious. Brought a tear to my eye.
Good for you, buddy. Good for you. I love Pokemon.
One final thing is, I really hope that this game gets delayed so they can take the time. I don't want this to be like, oh, we had to make a new game every year kind of thing.
Yeah.
Especially, I'm excited for the fact that like they said there's another company, like that's never happened before. That's like working on a. I use this in air quotes because is this mainline Pokemon like the Diamond and Pearl remakes? There's another company working on that now. So I hope they really use this time to flesh out some of this because like even the presentation they showed us, you would think they want it to be as perfect as possible. Like there was some obvious frame chugging.
Oh yeah.
Like when Chingling, I think, showed up, it was moving at like 2 frames per second.
Yeah, it was not pretty. But that's early development.
Right, and so I'm hoping that is, just like you said, early development or something, because I want this game to be perfect, to put it lightly. Or at least not a buggy mess.
I think when you look at like something like Halo Infinite, who has now patched what their old, like, I don't know how to say patched. They fixed the graphics from what they showed at like E3. I think they will be fine here. I'm pretty sure it'll be okay once it's on release, and we'll have a really great Pokemon game to look forward to.
Obviously, Pokemon hasn't changed up the formula on a mainline game. I know you put air quotes on mainline, but I mean, if you think about it, they ended this direct with Pokemon Arceus, right? If they didn't think that this wasn't going to be good, it wouldn't be the last thing that they presented. So, I mean, like, it's up to them to make a good game for sure, but it's also up to the fans to be supportive of the game once it comes out. Like, yes, you know, that's what we want. We want you guys to deviate from the formula. We love the world that you created, but we, you know, sometimes it gets a little repetitive. We're looking forward to something new.
Very well put.
Like, have you ever seen, like, the Pokemon and the Unreal Engine things? Like, that's the vibe this game gave me.
Guys, I think we have pretty much done everything there is to do in this episode.
JP.
Yes, Zach.
I know the answer, but I want everyone to tell me. Last question.
Yeah.
All right, with Diamond and Pearl coming out, we got to pick our starters. Who you picking? You got Turtwig, Chimchar, or Piplup?
Good question. Czar, you want to go first?
Piplup. Penguins are awesome.
Yeah, and Empoleon is incredible.
I'll go next. I mean, I'm a sucker for like the starter grass type Pokemons. I usually hate their evolutions, but like right off the bat, those starter grass ones are so cute. I gotta go Turtwig, right?
All right. So I've kind of changed over the years. Normally, I'd pick Chimchar. If this is a 1-for-1 remake where there's only like 2 fire Pokemon in the entire game, I'm picking Chimchar. All right? But if there's not, I gotta go with Peaches, man. You're right. Turtwig is too damn cute, and Torterra is so badass. I love his Earthquake, and he's like the what is he? The continental Pokemon? Like, I just think that's so badass.
But what about the penguins? Guys, the penguins!
Empoleon is literally my favorite Pokemon. The Gen 4 starter Piplup turns into Empoleon, and that's my favorite Pokemon, hands down. But I currently have 4 of them in Pokemon Home. I have played through Pokemon, the 4th gen so much. I've caught more Piplups. I have plenty of Empoleons. I'm going with Chimchar.
Why?
JP.
Okay, everybody chill.
Kill him.
Because, like I said, I have plenty. I have tons of Empoleons. My very first playthrough was with Empoleon. And then I've done other playthroughs with Turtwig where I got Torterra. I've never chosen Chimchar as my first starter in Gen 4, ever. Not in Platinum, not in Pearl, never. So, I'm going with Chimchar this time. I'm going with the Fire type. I don't ever go with the Fire type, but this time I am.
Yeah, and as long as you're avoiding, that Empoleon cardboard ass, I think you're good.
But the penguins!
Shut up! Empoleon is the coolest Pokemon ever. I love him. I just have too many.
Empoleon has 0 ass, dude. And that's what we all worry about in our Pokemon, right?
That's why you want Torterra. He's just all ass.
He's all
Hell, even
ass.
Infernape's got some booty.
Oh, yeah.
Zach, thank you so much for joining us on this episode for talking about Pokemon and Nintendo. It just wouldn't be the same without you, man. We really appreciate you coming back on.
Nintendo.
See.
And there it is. All right. Zach, this is your... Zach's just pulling it all out right now. And what other catchphrases do you have?
First, don't hit me.
That completes the set.
No, something about Xenoblade.
Something about Xenoblade.
Anime!
Hey, that's the one.
One hand free studio.
One hand free studio waifu uncovered.
Oh no, that one's not a catchphrase. I'm out. I gotta go.
You talked about it a lot. That is going to do it for this episode of the Game Tea Podcast. We will see you all in the next episode.
You just got your game tea.
Bye!
Later.
If you like what you heard today and you're looking for more ways to get your game tea fix, check us out on Patreon. With bronze, silver, and gold tiers starting at $2 a month, there are several incredible rewards you can receive for supporting the show, such as a follow from us on Twitter, access to a monthly Q&A session, an invitation to our private Discord server, and even bonus episodes of the podcast only accessible to patrons. Your donations will be used to make the show even better. The link to Patreon is in the description with our social media, so go check it out. Once again, thank you so much for listening to the Game Tea Podcast.